Hey, happy campers. New, unique. I like it.
I thought I would go high because you always go low.
Yeah, I just always take the low road.
Listen, the low road is less traveled. There's no traffic down there. It's the road to take. And I think we're told that we should take the high road. But no.
I'm going to take the low road.
In 2023, let's decide. Hey, shake on it. Let's take the low road together.
Sounds good.
Welcome back, everybody.
It is week 18 here at Camp Shady Birch. We're almost at 20 weeks.
I know. We're almost at half term.
I was going to say, if we were pregnant with this, it would be at least the size of a guava.
Should we celebrate a baby shower?
Once we give birth?
Yeah, we have a birthing day when we hit 40 weeks. Look out for that, campers. There's going to be a baby shower on Camp Shady Birch on week 40. We've already decided. We've locked in for our contract with Sandwich for 40 weeks. So we have them till then for sure. So look out for that baby shower on week 40. But we're at week 18 and we're super excited you're here. So thanks for being a camper and just laughing with us every week because we love you so freaking much.
Just make sure you check your emails for that registry. We will be accepting gifts, okay?
Where did you want to register at?
I don't know, Pottery Barn.
Does TJ Maxx do registries?
TJ Maxx, probably.
How about TGI Fridays?
Okay.
Trader Joe's.
Hey.
TJ's galore. Yeah. Anyway, campers, what did we get into this week? We had a fun little ditty of a week.
Oh, did we?
January started off with a bang, and we had a lot to talk about, but we were going to only discuss the highlights with you girls. What was it? Was it Wednesday that we went?
Thursday.
Okay.
No, Friday.
We're not really sure what day it was. It was Thursday.
It was Thursday.
Thursday, we went to the RuPaul Drag Race season 15 premiere in New York City, baby. Ooh. We left Camp Shady Birch and we headed our way to Battery Park or Regal, and we got to go to the screening of season 15. And if you know anything about me, you know I am a Ru girl through and through. I've watched every single season, every single franchise, except some of the international ones. Like I don't watch France, I don't watch Spain, but I do watch a lot of them, and I'm genuinely obsessed with the show. So they asked me to come, and I brought Jonathan, and we had a rip-roaring good time. But there was a little bit of drama, personal drama. We get into the movie theater, and it's the gorgeous Regal, right? So there's the classic black leather reclined seats. I'm wearing my Dickies. I'm wearing my Thursday best. Jonathan looked stellar.
Thanks,
and his Kith jacket, he just looks so good. So we're like feeling great, we're feeling fun, we're feeling sassy. We had a little drink before, and we get into the theater and we sit down, and what happens?
We're second in the theater.
We're second in this theater.
You take your seat down after I asked if you wanted me to hold the things in your pocket in my bag.
I sat down and my driver's license fell out of my pocket into the seat. So I'm like, oh my God, how embarrassing. Let's put the seat back. Let's look for this ID. Guys, the ID was nowhere. It was absolutely, we were reaching our hand into the stuffing of the seat, in between the seat, behind the seat, on Jonathan's side, on the other person's side. It was nowhere.
It was David Fincher Gone Girl.
It was David Fincher Gone Girl, okay? And I'm the bleep you married. It was awful. So after we crawled around sweating for this ID, I think what we decided was it must have fallen in this like hairline crack of the seat and like the middle console.
It had to have
the armrest.
Yeah.
It was like but that was like I don't know, like drilled into the ground, into the thing. There was no way we were getting it. So as the entire cast of season 15 is entering the theater, along with the cast of Jersey Shore, along with every gay man in a 2-mile radius of this theater is entering this theater, I'm on my phone on the Massachusetts Department of Motor Vehicles looking for a replacement. And you know what's crazy about this, guys? You need to know your driver's license number to then get another. Baby, I lost the license. I don't know what the license is. So I'm flipping out. I'm searching my email. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out at Jonathan. Thank God Jonathan is so organized. He found it in our moving documents when we moved to New York.
Yeah, I had it categorized. I name all my files, which you're always like, why do you name your files? For these types of instances.
And the file was Zachariah Porter's identification card. And therefore, I was able to, before the show even started, get an ID on my way. I'm still waiting for it, campers, so I'll let you know when I have a fresh ID. So thank God we're doing a little bit of a dry January right now because no one's carding me because I'm not going anywhere. But we had to go somewhere this weekend. I was like, baby, you have to drive. I'm sorry, I don't have a license right now.
My license. I don't want to get arrested again.
So we saw the premiere. It was absolutely fabulous. It was so fun. They showed about like 75% of it. So we got to really enjoy the full episode that aired last Friday. So if you haven't seen it yet, guys, it's on MTV. It is so fun. A great season.
It's going to be a good one.
So after the premiere, they're like, oh, it was a little bit of an after party if you guys want to come. I'm like, okay, first of all, anything with free drinks for me. I'm there. Dry January or not. If you hand me free champagne, I'm going. So they're like, it's at the Oculus, which is like they're like, it's a little bit of a walk. I'm like, oh, it's fine, right? This was not a walk, guys. This was a journey. It probably was they said 10 minutes. It was 15.
For gay walkers. We walk fast.
So clearly I'm breaking a sweat. We had to go through this entire like mall area to then go into the Oculus. And if you don't know, guys, the Oculus is where the old World Trade Center used to be.
No, it's the new World Trade Center.
Oh, it's the new World Trade Center.
Yeah, the old one's a memorial.
You're right. Yeah, you're completely right. So it's like an underground, like white tunnel. You may have seen pictures on Instagram. It's gorgeous. There's a train station. There's a little shopping area.
It's giving whale bones.
It's giving whale carcass. They've built out essentially a 12-foot tall coffee filter in the middle of the main area that they've then turned into like an exclusive party. You have the little wristband to get into. We had the wristbands. So we get there and it's fabulous. It's amazing. They have a giant like car in the middle of it. It looks gorgeous. And we're just getting our first glass of champagne. And Jonathan hits me with what? Nothing irritates me more. And I'm not even saying anything else. What did you say to me?
I gotta go potty.
Oh my God.
Listen, no, I had to pee. And here's the thing. You did tell me to go to the bathroom before we left the movie theater. Yes, you did. Did I have to go then? No, I absolutely did not. And I know somebody out there can relate to this, okay? I can't, it's like the Yellowstone geyser, my bladder is. I don't know when it's going to go. I know it's going to be every couple of hours. But what am I going to do? Go and stand at a urinal and not have to go? I didn't have to go.
I know. But why was I upset?
Because then we asked where the bathroom was and they go, oh, all of the bathrooms in here are closed. You have to go back to the building you came from.
So back the 2-mile walk that we just got to. And I'm not trying to be a bitch, okay? I'm not. I'm the sweatiest human being that's ever been birthed on this country. And I'm just trying to mingle amongst people who I really respect and not be dripping sweat. So who do we meet on the escalator?
Okay, so we're looking for the bathrooms, and then there's this security guard who had nothing to do with RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know who he worked for.
The Oculus. He worked for the Oculus, for sure.
Probably. So he asked what we were doing there, and you were like, oh, it's the RuPaul's Drag Race premiere. And he goes, oh, I don't watch that show. And we were like, okay.
And no, then you said, oh, it's a really good show. And I could already tell his vibes were weird. But then you're like, you should. It's a really good show.
No, I didn't say you should because I started to read the energy, and it was weird.
After that?
He was like, not my kind of show. I won't go into details. And then he turns to us and he's like, not that I have anything wrong with gay people like you. I'll keep my comments to myself. We were silent.
If you say I don't have anything wrong with gay people like you, I'll keep my comments to myself. First of all, you're about to catch these fucking hands, all right? Because you're just being fucking disrespectful at this point, okay? I'm at an event, you are the security guard, and you think you have an event and you have the right to be rude to gay people? Like, it's 2022, okay? You live in New York City. Bitch, get fucked. And then what did he say?
Also, this is all happening. This whole conversation is happening while we're standing on the escalator.
Which we did not. He could have just been go up the escalator to the left. He wanted to escort us.
Yeah, no,
be homophobic.
I had full bladder. I was ready to sprint up the escalator and get to the bathroom. And he was not budging. He was like, I'll take you there. But we are standing.
And then what did he say about gay people?
And then he's like, he was like, I just know gay people can throw hands.
Exactly. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you're about to get fucking swung at. And he's like, all I know is gay people can throw hands. I'm like, yeah, because we have to as a community because we're constantly faced with homophobia when we're just existing. Okay, that was really rude, and I really set it off to, especially being at like a very pride out gay event. It's like the gayest TV show to ever exist, and you're gonna sit here and just say I'm not gonna say anything. I'll keep my comments to myself. Well, there was the comment right there.
Right.
This was a small part of the story. I get really worked up because I don't like to be offended. So we found the bathroom.
Well, of course, literally we get to the top of the escalator and then he tells us where it is. He's like, oh, you see that Louis Vuitton? You make a left, you make a right. I was like, we were at the bottom of the escalator. We met you at the bottom of the escalator, which was one of the longest in the world.
Wait, yeah. Is there? Yeah.
It went up 2 stories.
Somebody called Guinness because that thing was long and that could have had a world record.
It was a lot. So I went in, I went pee-pees, and then we start walking back and we're out of breath.
I'm dripping sweat. I'm literally dripping sweat.
We need a drink. And I feel really bad. I still feel really bad. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're like, let's just do it. So we get back and as I'm walking in, the girl who I asked where the bathroom was, she's like, oh, did you find the bathroom? I said, yeah. She goes, did you go? I was like, yeah, I did.
We went.
Thank you. I was like, that was unique, but funny.
It was fun. I was just stressed because once we got back, I got like a bunch of people came up to me to talk to me from like the events team or whatever, and I was just like, I was just soaking wet. Like I was so hot from doing that like walk back and forth, and I just didn't want to meet the people who brought me to the event, like the corporate people from Paramount and MTV. And I'm talking to them, and I'm like apologizing for just like beads of sweat running down my face, and that's why I was frustrated with you. Not because you had to go to the bathroom, because I just didn't want to be like sweaty, and I also didn't feel comfortable letting you walk, because you're like, I'll go alone. I'm like, I'm not gonna let you walk a mile and a half in this place alone, you know?
What? It's not like there's homophobes out there.
Yeah, but that would just be rude. I don't want to let you do that. I just didn't want to be sweaty, and I was unfortunately very sweaty.
But also the lighting in the space where it was brighter than this. If you guys aren't watching on YouTube, you should watch on YouTube. But it was much brighter than this because it was in the middle of the
Oculus,
mall.
which is, if the lighting was actually more homophobic in that place than the guy at the escalator.
Let's talk about that.
I'll tell you that much. But you know who wasn't homophobic that we met at the Drag Race premiere? Wow, here we go, guys. I've been holding on this one for y'all the whole week. So we're there, we're like mingling or whatever, and I see in the distance Joey Camasta. Okay, Joey Camasta he has a podcast with Barstool Sports, but before that, he's always been working with Nicole.
They have a podcast.
Yeah, they have a podcast together. He was a celebrity makeup artist, a hairstylist.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So he's been in the industry for a long time, but he has a podcast with Nicole Polizzi. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Snooki.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to like say their full name. So Snooki. So I see Joey in the distance, and he waves at me. He's like, oh my God. He gives me a hug, and he gives Jonathan a hug, and he's like, oh, I want to introduce you to my friend, Nicole. Get over here, Nicole. And I'm like, first of all, we're calling her Nicole, but we know it's Snooki. So Snooki's like, what, Joey? She comes over, she gives me a hug. She's like, hi, how are you? And then next to Snooki is Angelina, who I'm just obsessed with. I've always been obsessed with Angelina. Angelina's with her. And then another girl who I guess works with Snooki or something, because she kept asking me, she's like, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, oh, it's probably TikTok, it's probably Instagram. She's like, no, you've been to our shop before. And I'm like, no, I've actually never been to the Snooki shop. I would love to come to the Snooki shop.
Right.
But she was like, kept taking, like, she wouldn't take no for an answer. She was like, no, you must have been to the store. And I was like, no, I just probably the internet, because I put my face out there every single day. But then you got to talk to Snooki for a minute, and while you were talking to Snooki, I was with Angelina,
and we're standing like across from each other, so it's like a crossfire of conversation.
Square.
I was like, what's happening right now? What's going on?
So I'm like, Angelina, I love you so much. And I was like, Angelina, I just need you to let you know that after season 1 of Jersey Shore, you had a song called I'm Hot, and it's one of the best, I think, reality TV to song like executions of, in my personal like opinion. And she's like, I'm hot, so hot, I'm like an ice cream cone with a cherry on top, and I got a lot. No, I won't stop till I reach the top. Okay, I'll spare you the rest of the lyrics, but I know every single one. So I have a little liquid courage, and I don't know when I'll ever see Angelina ever again. So I decided to rap that for her, and she was gagged for it.
She was
gagged for it. And Jonathan goes, I don't even think she knows her own lyrics.
But babe, you also, I need you to know that she was like nodding, and she was saying thank you, and you finished the entire verse. You were like, I'm like an ice cream cone with a cherry on top, and she thought you were done. She's like, oh, thank you. And you're like, and I got a lot, and you kept. And she literally was just like, yeah.
I said, let me have my moment. This is my moment.
We were just listening to that song when maybe was it last 2 episodes ago? Maybe right before Christmas, when Luann's song was my song.
Yes.
Song.
Oh my God, you're right.
We were just listening to that song because I didn't know it existed. And you were like, oh, I have to sing this for you. And you performed it. You performed it well.
It was amazing. I got a picture with her. I did get a picture with Snooki. Who else did we meet there?
I didn't get any pictures though.
I took pictures of you.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying you didn't take me pictures of me. I was just, I don't know.
Yeah, you were living in the moment, because
it was nice.
Ariana Grande said in the first episode of Drag Race, she was like, honestly, guys, live in the moment and be more present. So that's what Jonathan was doing. He took that to heart.
I did. We
also met, the only drag queen we met from the new season was Marsha.
Love.
Who was just gorgeous. She ran up to me because she recognized me, and I was gagged for it because I was like, how do you know who I am? She was like, baby, I have a phone. But I just like link any RuPaul Drag Race girl. If you make it on that show, you're amazing. And if you're just a drag queen and you don't make it on that show, you are just as amazing. I love the art of drag. I think it is just the most beautiful expression of joy and love and entertainment there has ever been. And I celebrate that show. And for me to get to go to that was just
really cool.
It was like a full circle moment for me. I've literally just at the brokest of my life, at the most darkest moments of my life, I've always watched that show. So to be able to be a part of it in the smallest way and to get to experience it with a group of drag queens who are about to have their entire lives changed, and to see them in that moment right before and celebrate them was just, incredible. And then to get drunk for free at the Oculus and to meet people who also hire me and love my work from Paramount and from MTV, who like are able to like book me for things. Like it's just a surreal fucking moment, and I'm just honored to do it. And it was just probably the best event I've ever been to, I would say.
Yeah.
Just because I like love that show so much. Rue wasn't there. Ross was.
No, but for real, you are like the only person I know who knows so much. I could name like an ambiguous drag queen who was out in the first episode and you would know the season. I wouldn't know what drag queen to name because you were the one who made me watch it for the first time a couple years ago.
You like it now though.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gagged by it. I love it. And Marsha was so great.
Yeah,
Love
and
her.
she was really
so
sweet.
Nice. Her boyfriend was so nice.
Her boyfriend was so nice. And everyone from the press was really nice that was there. I feel like we were the only creators really there.
Yeah.
Were there other creators there?
Not that I saw.
No, I think it was just like a nice invite because I was like,
Well,
really
Sugar and Spice.
Well, Sugar and Spice are on the new season. If you have TikTok, you probably know.
Their heels were absolutely insane.
Yeah, well, that's their aesthetic. They love to have that higher than God heel.
It was insane.
We love RuPaul's Drag Race. Thanks for inviting us. I know that was a lot if you don't care about Drag Race, but we had a great time.
Attention campers, please meet at the old flagpole under the tall pine for morning announcements.
Morning announcements. Attention campers. We've been seeing a lot of cabin porch lights that have been left on overnight, and the electricity bill is being run up like a motherfucker.
It's true.
So to counter that, we are going to be providing carrots at the mess hall salad bar that have been graciously provided to us, donated even, by the female-run vegan organization, Utterly Vegan Farms, LLC. So thank you so much, Utterly Vegan Farms, LLC. We really appreciate that. Guys, eat your carrots. You'll see better at night, and then you won't run our bill up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Eat your carrots, bitches.
You got housekeeping?
I have a lot of housekeeping. I do.
Next to mine, it says housekeeping with a colon, and it is empty. I know there's something I should say, but not that I can remember.
Well, I think I'm thinking back on like how we started our first January episode and like are talking about our resolutions. So coming up first, I just want to apologize to everybody. I did not finish the book. I'm at the same place I was last week. I'm mortified. I'm embarrassed. Jonathan has been putting the pressure on me, and I like that because somebody has to. So I'm going to do it's 54 fucking pages, babe. Okay, I just got to finish it. So I told you I was going to finish that book and talk about it. Hopefully next week I'll let you know what I was reading. Moving forward, thoughts on dry January. Well, I just want to let everybody know I'm not really doing dry January anymore. I'm doing cloudy with a chance of showers January. It's always overcast. It's going to be dry, but there might be an imminent rainstorm that I'm not aware when's going to happen, okay? So I'm constantly wearing my rain jacket all January. And if it happens to pour, if I happen to have a martini in my hand, I don't want to hear any judgment, okay? If I'm at a Drag Race premiere and I have a martini in my hand, I can't help that, okay? But I will say, we have cut down our alcohol consumption. I would say 75% in these first couple days of January.
I would say 76%.
We're January 9th. I only drank 2 days in the last 9.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, 3.
Oh, I had a cider yesterday.
Well, that is it. So you did 4, I did 3. But that's amazing because we would like have a glass of wine every single night. We'd have White Claws, and I've been working out every single day. I feel like my chin's, like my bloat's down a little bit. I feel more confident. I definitely am sleeping better for sure.
Yeah, you are.
Isn't that incredible though?
Yeah.
I used to wake up with night terrors, and that was fueled by White Claw. And now I'm waking up with dreams of sugar plum fairies and beautiful dogs.
Do you ever dream of me?
Yeah, but I never dream of you in like a sexual way because that would just happen normally. But I dream of you like when we're in like bad situations. Like it's always like very like Mission Impossible.
Oh, I thought you meant bad situations.
Oh,
like arguments.
No, I feel like my dreams are always like very like theatrical. Like they always feel like a movie, a cinema, if you will.
That's how your brain works?
Motion pictures.
If you will.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on dry January. And my last thing is a big apology. So my camper crush of the week last week, Instant Hotel.
Oh.
My DMs were flooded.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that on December 27th, they took off season 1 off Netflix.
I didn't either. We got flooded. We got emails too.
Because I just talk about it so much. I've watched it so many times. It's like a comfort thing. I put it on when I'm bored. And I just realized I loved it again. And I was like, oh, I should talk about that on the show. And then season 1, who I like have gassed up, is no longer available.
Wonder why.
Season 2 really is great too because it really kind of shows the premise of the show, which is great. But the drama in season 1 was unparalleled. It was just, incredible. And I'm sorry if you missed it. And I hope there's a way to watch it. I didn't really search, but maybe Amazon Prime. If you have to buy it the whole season for $6, it'll be the best $6 you ever spent.
I know we really did like gas it up for a full like 10 minutes and now nobody can watch it. Sorry about that.
I know. I'm not a gatekeeper. I never have been. And that's something I tried to get you guys hip to. And I was just a little late on my delivery. And I apologize to anybody who seeked that out last week and didn't get to enjoy the fun. I love you guys. And that's all I have for housekeeping.
All right. Well, call this house kept.
Do you want to move into morning announcements? Do you have any little news you want to share with the campers?
Okay. So this article is coming from today.com and it's by Joseph Lamar and it is titled River of Melted Butter Spills into Wisconsin Canal After Fire at Dairy Plant.
Oh, that sounds like a nightmare.
That's a long title too. Okay, so this all happened on January 2nd and it was a fire that broke out at the Associated Milk Producers Inc. dairy plant in Portage, Wisconsin.
Portage?
Portage, sorry.
Oh, no, I was thinking porridge. I like that name. I'm sorry.
No, Portage. So, you've got butter refrigerated. The fire starts melting literally all of the butter that they had produced. So there were 30 employees that were in there, but they all got out unscathed. So that's good. So the firefighters show up. It's 9:15 and they're like, oh my God, this building is leaking. They tried to like walk up the stairs, but all of the melted butter was coming from every floor. And then they had to call, how many was it? I wrote a note down. They had to bring in 9 different fire departments because the butter that was covering these firefighters was getting all over their hoses and they couldn't get a grip on the hose. So they were like walking into this building and the hoses kept slipping out and like anything that they were trying to hold was just, everything was covered in butter, baby. Everything was covered in butter.
That sounds like a movie.
It's terrible. What would you call the movie? Butter Brigade.
I can't believe it's not butter attacks.
Baby, believe it. It's butter.
That's nuts.
But then after it started leaking, there was a little canal that's like by the parking lot of this building and it's half filled with water. All of the butter poured into it. But luckily, because it was colder, it started to like chunk up and become these little nasty butter bricks and float to the top.
Back to butter.
Yeah, Back to Butter.
That's the movie.
Sequel.
Back to Butter. The sequel.
I love it. And the Department of Natural Resources did report that most of the butter has been removed from the canal. And hey, nobody was harmed, so that's great. But yeah, that's the melted butter news.
I feel really bad because some people are going to come and be like, oh, I like that's going to affect wildlife, what it really is. But like at the end of the day, they really can't. The goal wasn't here to melt the butter, okay? Nobody wins in the situation.
Yeah,
okay?
no, it was an unfortunate churn of events.
The crabs in the water are like, this has got a little sweetness to it.
Hey, let's have a buttered toast to those brave firefighters.
Hey, cheers to you firefighters. My favorite thing about butter is I think of clarified butter and I think of what clarified butter is called, and it's called ghee. And ghee is what Jonathan called his late grandmother, who we love very much. Her name was Ghee.
Yeah. Well, she's very late. She died like when I was 2.
That's okay. Well, she's still in your memory, in your
she's
heart.
Still late, yeah.
But every time we go into an aisle, they have a little jar of clarified butter, and I always go,
always
ghee. Yeah. I love ghee, and this could have been called Ghee's Great Escape.
Ghee's Great Escape.
Anything that has insert word Great Escape. It just makes me laugh. I say it all the time. Like it could be anything. Blank Great Escape. I think it's just so funny. I don't know.
Okay, I love that.
Remember we had the snake episode?
Oh yeah.
What was his name?
Ethan.
Ethan's Great Escape.
No, it was Ethan in the Big Apple.
Ethan in the Big Apple, but on the chopping block in the room, the creative what is it called? The brainstorm.
Yeah.
There at one point it was gonna be Ethan's Great Escape.
That was in the think tank for sure.
Guys, we are in production for Ethan in the Big Apple. We are talking to a couple networks. We've just sent emails out, no responses, but we're gonna get that on the big screen for you guys.
Yeah,
it's gonna be produced, and if you missed that episode, that one's in the vault somewhere. That one's I don't even know what episode that is. Like episode 9?
Yeah, sure.
A long time ago, but that was a fun one. I love that story. That was a really good article.
Thank you. One quick question. What is clarified butter? Can you clarify?
Yeah, I can clarify. So clarified butter is a science in which you look at the butter and you say, you need to clear up.
Enough.
You need to get it together, girl.
Enough.
You clarify her. You say, get a jar. Nobody works these days. Nobody's working. It's Kim Kardashian talking to a butter saying that nobody works these days. And that is what ghee is. Clarified butter. She's really busy.
Story checks out. You got a story for us?
I do. So this comes from, how do we pronounce it? Poinciana.
Poinciana.
Thank you. This story comes from, guess where, guys? Poinciana, Florida. I'll keep my Florida comments to myself because it writes itself. Okay, so the article starts off with the first sentence saying, Associated Press, by the way. 2 people in Florida were arrested after one of them made a 911 call to get help with moving their belongings from a home they were burglarizing, authorities said. So I read that headline and I said, let me read about this one. So I'm going to paraphrase it for you guys. Essentially, the cops received a call for 911 and they answered it and they were like, nobody's answering. It's kind of like silent or whatever. So the cops then, I think, have a responsibility to go check out where the call came from. So they show up to this house and it's an abandoned house, an abandoned lot. And they're like, okay, that call was coming from inside the house. We have to go check it out. So they're kind of like scoping out the property and they're like, oh, there's an open door here. They open the door and there's a couple in there. And the cops are like, wait, we recognize this guy. This guy had just gotten a call in from security footage from stealing from a Dollar General this afternoon. So this happened later that night. So they go up and they're like, hey, what's good? You called the police? And the girl's like, yeah, I called the police because we need help moving our stuff here to a different house. And also, can you guys bring us to the airport? So the cops are like, you dead ass called us to help move the stolen stuff from Dollar General from this afternoon to a different location and then bring you to the airport. And they're like, yeah, we want to go to New York City for the weekend. Literally what happened. So the deputy department.
Wait, did they really? I'm sorry. Did they really say they wanted to go to New York for the weekend?
Literally, they did.
Oh, I thought you were just putting a little bit in.
No, that's what they said. That's why they're going to the airport. They said they want to go to New York City for the weekend, baby. They're out of Florida. Yeah. So the deputies posted on like their like Facebook page, like their police Facebook page, and they said deputies did help them with their belongings and did give them a ride. But it wasn't to the airport. It was to the Polk Pokey, the sheriff officer said in a Facebook post. And they are welcome to stay there all weekend long. The Polk Pokey is better than New York City anyways.
They love to have fun on Facebook.
Cops love Facebook banter.
They do.
The TSA was a good one too.
That was a good one.
I don't mind. I think honestly, like if you're dumb enough to call the police on yourself and then ask for a ride to the airport and to move your stolen goods, you're dumb enough to get beamed on Facebook. All right. I don't even care. This was hysterical. The male suspect was charged with burglary and theft related to the store and also burglary of the residence. So they were also stealing stuff from the house they were like squatting in. Oh. But it was an abandoned house. So how were they stealing? The copper pipes?
It couldn't have been that abandoned. A call came. What was it, a landline call or like a cell phone call?
A cell phone call, but they can ping that. They can ping that. Because it like they in the article, like police answered the phone and it was silent, but it was like still like, you know, like I wonder if she called and she was like, oh wait, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, she was like, the drugs, like my clarified butter is coming through and I see now that this is a bad idea.
That's why you take clarified butter. When you're feeling brain fog, have some clarified butter and they'll be like, hang up the phone, baby.
Take a little bite out of that bar.
This just goes into the laundry list of articles that come out every single day about what's going on in Florida. The water there it's not clarified and it needs to be immediately. Y'all are so feral out there. And I have no judgment on you guys. You guys provide the country with the best entertainment, theme park based, cruise based, and news story based. We are obsessed with you guys. This was 35 miles south of Orlando. And I love you so much. Everybody in Florida listening, keep it coming, baby.
Are we qualified to be giving advice? No. Are we going to do it anyway? Absolutely.
Home. Welcome back to Dear Counselors. In my head, that was a better bit. I was thinking like Dear Counselors is the part of the show where you like ask advice and we give you what we know. And I thought that was gonna center myself, but as I was committing to that, it wasn't translating, you guys.
I was confused as to where you were going.
I am aware. So if you have any questions or if you have any, like, if you want advice from us, we can't guarantee it'll be great, but we can guarantee we're going to put our whole bussies into it. Okay. We're going to give you everything we've ever got in our entire lives. So you can send that into campcounselorspod@gmail. Header, you can just write, I got a question, counselors, Dear Counselors, and we will get back to you and we'll add it to the show. So we have a little question for advice this episode, and I love it, and I'm ready to tell you guys.
Let's get into it.
Dear Counselors, I'm 26 years old, and my dating life is trash. My last relationship ended 5 years ago, and I've been on about 5 or 6 dates since then. I joined the dating apps, which resulted in few dates, but none of them led to anything serious. Of course, there were guys that I did the whole talking stage with and hung out with, but they were all situationships and nothing more. And all of my close friends are either dating, married, engaged, and I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm ready to get into something serious, but I'm literally the most awkward person ever when it comes to dating. I'm a hopeless romantic that reads into everything, and I have zero confidence when talking to guys. I'm naturally a pretty outgoing person, so I hate that my awkwardness hinders me from dating. I also feel like I have to be a little tipsy or drunk before I can even begin to have a conversation with someone I find attractive. Do either of you have any advice on how to embrace the bad bitch I know I am? I would also love any advice for going on preparing for first dates because let's be real, your girl hasn't had one in a long time. I know we all have days when we're just not feeling it, but I spent 360 out of 365 days last year not feeling it, and I refuse to keep that energy in 2023. Signed, the insecure girl in cabin 3. Girl, I love you, and you wrote this so beautifully, and we are going to turn that frown upside down. Let's just get right into it. Jonathan, I'm going to ask you first.
Yeah.
How do you embrace your inner bad bitch, Hanny?
Well, I feel she said it in the email. She's like, how do I embrace the inner bad bitch I know I am? Well, you already know you are. So it's like, hey, find a pussy poppin' playlist.
Yes.
That you can just listen to music that nothing will make me feel more C-word than listening to a good playlist that just like, you know the type.
I literally agree with that because I also think too, like I have my own that I've curated, but if you don't want to make one, babe, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Spotify, Apple Music, and you can just put bad bitch energy, bad bitch playlist, confidence playlist. And the art of like good music really can pump you up for like when you're feeling a little low. For me, it's always Destiny's Child. I'm not joking. I love Destiny's Child. I love that. Anything else that in your inner bad bitch?
And then, I don't know, just maybe like, hey, say something to yourself once a day in the mirror. Be like, you're a bad bitch. Write it on a little post-it note. You're a bad bitch, and stick that right on the mirror. And then every day you'll just keep seeing it. You'll say it to yourself until you don't have to. And then you just walk past mirrors and you're like, oh, that's a bad bitch. There you go.
Literally. And also there was this whole note in here about feeling like you're on a different track because you're 26 and you don't have a relationship. Listen, babe. Oh my God. I could preach about this. I could write a whole book about this. I hate this internalized clock that everybody's on, right? I think we're all in our different paths in life and you don't have to compare with your friends, okay? All of my friends right now are settling down with their relationships. Some of them are having babies. And I'm not at that point now where I'm going to settle down with a family, but I also don't feel like I need to be at that level because we're all on different paths and you can celebrate your friends and not be on the same level as them. Okay. I watched this TikTok this morning actually. And this woman was like, what could I say to my 25-year-old self? Cause I felt like she felt at that point she was ancient and things weren't going to get accomplished. She didn't write her first book until she was 32. Then she wrote her second book at 35 and became like a New York Times bestseller at 41. Okay. And she's like, your age is not defining who you are and what you've done. At any point, you can just change your entire life. Like every day truly is the next day, like the rest of your life. Okay. So just because last year was trash, I love that you're already aware that you're not going to let that happen again for you. Like you're good. You already know, you already have the power within yourself for sure. And a thing for me that I've always found to be helpful when I'm feeling a little stressed in situations where I'm not feeling confident is just to slow down and not anticipate what I'm going to say next. Sometimes I feel like I get so hung up on how I like want to present myself that if I really were just to calm down, settle in the moment and be like, let me genuinely just respond to what someone's about to say to me instead of like thinking about my next answer, I'm going to come across the real self I am and not get hung up on this awkwardness that I feel like I can also portray sometimes. So I think your feelings are just super normal and valid. And I think you just got to really continue to put yourself out there. And because you just never know. And I think every chance you don't take, you're going to miss. I'm sorry, that was super long-winded.
No, that was really well articulated. That was really good. I just want to retweet what you're saying about, you know, comparing yourself, especially to like a group of friends, because I have like a pretty close group of friends that are kind of similarly like you, like all in the same, they're either married or engaged or like really getting there. And I think it's easier said than done to not compare yourself. I feel like I have a hard time comparing myself. Is that weird to say? I don't know. I just have always felt like I'm on like a weird different trajectory, not with like my career, but I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just being gay where I just never saw myself in like, because most of my friends are like heterosexual couples. So yeah, I just think it is easier said than done. So just be nice to yourself if it's not happening as fast as you want it to, but you are a bad bitch and stop comparing yourself. You said it last episode, right? Comparison is the thief of joy.
And also with this too, I feel like when you find that like inner confidence in yourself, I think you start there. And then the relationships and the men or the women or whoever you're looking like to date, that comes secondary, right? Because I think you really got to be happy with yourself before you can really attract someone that's going to be happy with you. Because right now, I don't know, like I feel like I've always had like when I met you, I was in a good place, right? Like we talked for a while and I wasn't in the right place, but when we finally got to meet in real life, I was at like a very healed, like ready to like enter a new relationship place. And I think that's why we thrive, because we were both on the same track, right? So I think healing that part of yourself and finding that confidence within yourself as a human being can then get you to be like, all right, I love myself. I'm a bad bitch. And now go attract your opposite bad bitch, because we love a couple of two bad bitches.
Literally, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, go out with your girls. And if you feel like you have to take a shot of tequila, take a shot of tequila.
I wasn't mad at that comment, okay, babe? Sometimes we all need a little liquid courage. Don't put that down, okay? If it becomes a problem, then it's a problem. But if in putting yourself out there, it's difficult. You know? Release a little inhibition, take a shot, and just realize that everybody feels just as weird as you do. And dating always fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, it's so true. So here's what you're going to do.
What?
This weekend. You're going to get your friends together. We're going to do a girls' night out. You're going to go out to a bar, maybe bar hop to a couple of ones if you guys are into that. And then you're going to be open to having a guy come up to you, or you go up to a guy and talking, but that's not going to be the point of going out. You're going out because you're going to be the bad bitch that you are, and you're going to have a good time. And then that energy, I promise you, it might not be this weekend, it might be not be next weekend, but it will like attract the right person to you, and everything's going to work out.
Yes, you put that confidence in your girls and yourself, and some guy across the wire is going to be like, ooh, or person, whoever you're attracted to, they're going to love that, and they're going to seek you out, and they're going to be obsessed. So when you do land that first date, next question, advice for going on and preparing for first date. Oh wait, I'll start with saying what Jonathan said last segment or last question. Start with a good playlist. You got to get yourself in a fun headspace. Some good music that's going to pump you up and make you feel sexy, fun, fresh, and free. I would say have a little drink, okay? I that sounds like I'm an alcoholic, but I do feel like a little cocktail before you go out somewhere can really kind of calm the nervous system down. Sometimes we work ourselves up so much when we think the other person isn't just as nervous as we are. Great first date locations. I think somewhere where you have an easy out. Sometimes you don't need to get dinner, right? Just get a drink beforehand. And if it's great, then ask what they're doing after. People typically don't have plans after a date. Sometimes they do, but usually they're kind of keeping it open to see how far the night's going to take them, right? So maybe have a drink here, have a little tapas. Don't plan a full extravagant dinner, right? Because what if it's bad? You want an easy way out. I don't preferably love a movie date.
No, not on a first date. No.
Those are kind of weird, I think.
No, you're not talking. You're just sitting there awkwardly, and like he's probably going to feel awkward, and you're both just going to have weird energy and talk about just the movie.
I also love a date that's kind of in a public setting, one, for safety reasons, and two, when you're in a park walking around, when you're at a bar, there's loud energy. There's a lot of things to talk about and look around at and comment on, because sometimes you don't get like, when you kind of get lost in the moment, like, what do I say next? Sometimes talking about something that you both can relate to in that moment, like that person was crazy, or like, oh, the drinks are really good here. Like something that doesn't feel like too intimate, because that can kind of take the pressure off when there's like a lot of hullabaloo. I love a date with a lot of hullabaloo.
You do.
Sue me. And I think just knowing that not every date is going to be the end of your life. It's like every meal for me. If I have a bad meal, well, I'll have another. It's just putting yourself out there, knowing your worth, and not settling. You're 26. You're a goddamn spring chicken, baby. Who cares if everyone else is on a different track than you? You're finding yourself. You're experiencing life at a different level. And you're going to be so much happier when you look back, because you'll find someone and you'll be like, wow, I'm glad I had those years to really work on my personal development before I settled into the rest of my life. And I know you have this. I know you got this.
That was great advice.
Thanks.
Maybe just keep an eye out for red flags. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you got this. I think by not settling and being confident in who you are and holding out for the right one, you won't settle. I believe in you, camper, okay? Love you.
Grab your bug juice and bear spray, campers. It's time to pack it up and take a hike.
It is time for Take a Hike. This is the part of the show where we bitch a little. We talk about the shit that's been grinding our gears and really been getting on our nerves. So I saw someone on the street wearing those shoes that separate your toes.
The toe shoes.
Why?
Yeah, what are those all about?
So apparently, what I've seen online is like some people are like, oh, it's like your bare feet. It's good for your feet. It has some support in it, but it's like it's primal. We're human. We're supposed to be running on bare feet. You know what else is primal? An appendix. But
True.
what's the purpose? Is there a purpose for an appendix besides possibly bursting at the worst possible moment? Wisdom teeth. What's good with those? We're like, we don't technically need that. And we have shoes. And also your toes miss each other. So let's wear normal shoes. Let's take those toe shoes and let's throw them in the bin. Thank you. Also, I'm going to double down here. Toe socks. We're not doing toe socks, ladies and gents. Let's throw those in the bin as well. Toe rings, however, yeah, they get the pass.
Obsessed.
They're actually encouraged.
I love a toe ring.
Yeah.
I also want to challenge you for a second. What are think about the kind of person that wears a toe shoe?
Not someone I would like to associate with.
I just feel like they're also a little different. They're also like on their own path in life. A man or a woman who wears a toe-based shoe is someone I don't know if I trust.
I don't know if I trust them either.
I want to try it though.
In New York, though,
would you put one on?
In January?
You might love it.
I'll try anything twice. But I'm not going to purchase the shoe.
The thing is...
I hate how they look. Look at how they look. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that. I feel like I'm hung up on the look. They're disgusting. That was rude. They're offensive.
They're creepy.
It's creepy. It's weird. But I am curious about the feeling. I'm interested in that, right? I don't ever approve of the way they look, but I am interested in the orthopedic support that they may offer. It might be something I'm interested in. The socks, get out of here. There is a girl I follow on TikTok who I absolutely adore. She's like a fashionista in a way that's like, okay, I could never pull that off. You're so cool. Like, that's why it works, because you're just a cool person. She's into these really expensive shoes that almost look like hooves.
I've seen those.
Split down the middle.
Yeah, it looks like a camel toe.
It does, but they're like leather. They're patented, a metal bottom, and those are fierce. But like, if I were to put those on, I would vomit. What do you think about those?
I kind of like them because they remind me of like Satan, the little cloven hoof.
Yes, they do. It's giving Satan.
Yeah.
So you're into a hoof on a toe.
But that's also, if I saw someone in New York wearing those, I'd be like, yes, bitch, like fashion, go off. It's not for practical use. But people who wear these and just kind of go into Old Navy, go to Cheesecake Factory, go on a walk.
It is Old Navy. It is Old Navy behavior.
Yeah. Old Navy behavior. It is.
Sometimes we all have it. You're giving Old Navy behavior and you need to check yourself. You need some clarified butter and check yourself with that Old Navy behavior.
Guys, if you have toe socks in your closet, you can hang on to those.
You're zany.
Just don't wear them. Okay. Don't wear them around camp. But if you have the shoes, or you're dating someone who has the shoes, or you know someone who has their shoes, throw them in the bed. Throw them out.
No, I think it's just a certain type of person that we don't jive with, but they jive to their own drum.
I don't want that drum.
I feel like it would be appropriate of anywhere in the world to wear them at Camp Shady Birch, because they kind of give Trailblazer or Blazing a Trail.
We're not flipping the script.
Okay, you're right. It's your take a hike. I'll take a hike out of this conversation.
Thank you. That's that on that. What do you got for take a hike?
My take a hike is a holiday. You know what holiday I fucking hate?
Arbor Day.
Easter, motherfucker. It is the most boringest holiday ever, okay? Take religion out of this. I don't want to hear anyone talking about religion. I'm talking about the corporate holiday of Easter, okay? The bunny is trash. The pastels look like shit. And it's the worst time of weather a year. The food is basic, okay? Uncle Zach, go hide some eggs. Bitch, I'm wearing brand new cream suede Vans, okay? I'm not muddying my fucking shoes so that my little nephews and nieces can go pick up some pastel eggs with some Hershey Kisses in it and a $1 bill, okay? Get fucked. I'm not doing it. Okay, I hate Easter. That's why the last 2 years, Jonathan and I have been skipping out on Easter. We're calling it's Easter with the Carsons. Okay, over here,
our Easter Great Escape.
Our Easter Great Escape. We've been skipping Easter 2 years in a row because Easter fucking sucks.
I don't like
sucks.
I don't like it. I don't like the food. I agree with you. I don't look good. Have you ever worn salmon before? I can't wear pink hues. Look at me.
I could simply never wear pink. Look at me. No, I agree. I think certain people look stunning in pastel.
And that is why certain people like Easter, but we are not them.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's boring.
Ham.
Hey. I didn't say anything about ham, okay? Ham is never canceled in my eyes. You know I'm a ham bone. I love a little ham. But one thing about me, I love ham. But it's just Other than the ham, it's boring. And the food that you're gonna come at us with and be like, what about this? You can have that at any other holiday, okay? What is the special moment of Easter? There's none.
And also, I will say, I usually will be snacking on candy if it's a family event. I'll just be shoveling jelly beans in my mouth like there's no tomorrow. I love jelly beans, don't get me wrong, but then I'll feel like shit by the time we have to sit down.
Who said anything about the Easter jelly beans? Well, we might. So we have a trip coming up next month, and then I'm going on a bachelorette. So we have a trip in February, and I have a bachelorette party in March. April's going to be kind of busy, so we might not do a trip in April. We're going to discuss it. But we already decided that if we do Easter, we're going to do it with the Carsons. We're going to leave the Porters out of this time. We just did Christmas. Jonathan was very gracious to let me do Christmas with my family, and he came. We did Thanksgiving with actually, we didn't do Thanksgiving at all. We were sick.
We did Thanksgiving alone.
Yeah, we did solo. But Easter, we'll do with your family. It's just... But you know what, though? There's no kids in Jonathan's family, so it might be more fun. Sorry to my nephews and nieces if you're listening, okay? I love you guys. It's just a little too much, okay? Uncle Z doesn't have a paternal bone in his goddamn body, okay? So when you get mud on me, I get pissed.
Wait, did you ever see the episode of Parks and Rec where all the kids are looking for the Easter eggs? And she's like, wow, Andy did a really good job this year. We've hardly found any. And then it cuts to him and he's like, yeah, I totally forgot to hide the eggs.
That's okay. Other than that episode of Parks and Rec, everything else sucks about it. Easter sucks. And I'm gonna say Easter, take a hike.
Do you think the new counselor likes the top bunk or the bottom bunk? Over. Either way, I'm giving them my boondoggle keychain. Over.
Hey guys, remember this one? Now you hold your breath like I know you do. Am I crazy up on any love? Or is it just another crush? That was the famous song Crush by David Archuleta. I think that's the song. I think those are the lyrics. I don't feel confident about it.
I've never heard it, but I applaud your effort.
I should have sang Crush, Crush, Crush by Paramore. I'll do that next week. Anyways, Crush of the Week. Who we kissing? Who we snogging? Who we making out with? Who we just in love with? Why do you always get mad at me when I talk about kissing or crushes, okay? You kiss a crush.
Well, and you're saying this, and I'm going to be going first, and I'm about to tell you why it's weird, because my crush of the week is Megan from the movie Megan, or just the movie overall. So that's like, it's a crush as in like, it's something that I'm really appreciating, not trying to snog or anything.
Take us there.
But Megan, we just saw it last night. We were sitting on the couch eating our salmon poke bowl.
You did a great job. You cooked that. It was good.
Thank you. I undercooked the rice as I usually do, but we're working on it. And we're watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 7, episode 4. And we're halfway through and we're eating our food. And you look at me and you go, what time's our movie? I had bought movie tickets about 6 days ago, and I had totally forgot we were supposed to go to a movie theater where they serve food, so we weren't supposed to eat the poke bowl that night. It should have been tonight. Regardless, we make our way downtown. We're walking fast, faces past, because we're Megan bound, and it was such...
That was funny. Sorry, that was really funny.
It was such a good movie. If you guys haven't heard about Megan, what color of the rock? What color
of the rock you laying under, baby? Okay.
And what are you paying rent for it? Because I would like to know. It was so good. It was like the yassified version of Chucky,
yes,
but less satanic, more robotic, more mechanic. I should have said less satanic, more mechanic.
Oh, cute! You're a rhyming word today, Dr. Seuss. I love that.
It was like Annabelle and iRobot had a baby, and that child
yes,
went to juvie and had all the other girls do the evil bidding until she was safe and got let out on good behavior.
That was smart.
That's
a good description. Yeah, it was, guys. It was fun, not me.
It was good. It was funny. It was scary. It was cunty. It was all of them. Brian Jordan. I almost said Brian Jordan Allman. Brian Jordan Alvarez. Brian Jordan Alvarez, great job. Love him. He's so funny. Follow him on TikTok.
We love him. He's a TikToker, and I've become friends with him online, and I think he's so great. And he was in it. The main character is Allison Williams from Girls, Brian Williams' daughter. It was fun. Like, it's not gonna scare you. That's the whole thing. Like, it really wasn't scary. It was a little jumpy. It was campy. It was a movie that I haven't like seen executed in that way.
Yeah.
It was like God, I swear to God, people are so critical of movies nowadays.
And
like, it's just fun. Get over it.
That's what, and I feel like I did go to film school, and I feel like I became that person. And I'm like, sometimes movies can just be like, am I supposed to fully be believing that, well, actually this one, it could technically happen. But I mean, especially in the horror movie realm, it's just like, give it some grace and fucking like loosen your pants and like stop being such an uptight twat. Like, it's just have fun and just go with the story. And I thought the story was fun. It was funny. It was campy. And you did jump a couple of times.
I always jump. So what I liked about it was like, you know, and you could probably tell from the trailers, like at one point, like Megan does stop being so nice and she kind of just turns into like a bitch, like a see you next Tuesday. And like her delivery in this robotic voice when she says these like iconic lines, I'm like, this movie will go down in history with like a cult following. Like, just get on the train before the train leaves the station. Like, this is a fun watch, okay? Like, not really appropriate for kids at all. I would say
it's only PG-13, which I was kind of...
Yeah, but like that's been like really, we're older now. Like that would have probably been like maybe more, honestly, because it's like it's a little inappropriate at some points, but like not crazy. It was just fun. We loved it. So great crush of the week.
Thank you. So what's your crush of the week?
My crush of the week is sour cream. It is.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, this is the hate we get, guys.
I love sour cream. I'm not hating. It was just
people like just like Custer girls were in the dark because it's scary world out here to be into sour cream.
I'm on your side. You are not a victim in this room. This is a safe space. I was just not expecting it to come out.
Let me play the victim.
Take us there.
Take us there, baby. I've noticed that every single day I wake up and I think, what can I put sour cream on? Someone actually DM'd me about it the other day. They said something like food is just a vessel for sour cream.
Yeah.
Like everything is just, if you're creative enough, everything is just a vessel for sour cream.
And it's true.
I always want it on everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It adds a creamy texture. I also am getting really into food that's hot with a cold side thing. Like we had the poke bowl last night. It was salmon. It was hot, but we had cold cucumber on the side. And especially when you eat something spicy, when you balance it with something cold like a cucumber or sour cream, I love that consistency. But sour cream is just, it can really go in anything. And I think every time I get sour cream at a restaurant, a la Chili's the other day, they gave me what I would describe a teaspoon of sour cream for my fajitas.
I knew you were going to be upset when it came out.
I wasn't upset. I kept it to myself. I didn't say anything. But then the entire time I'm panic rationing. I'm panic rationing my sour cream because I'm like, I want more on this one, but if I put more in here, the rest of my meal suffers, okay? I want to live in a world where sour cream is on the table like ketchup, okay? It's in a little ice chest and I am free to squeeze or dollop as much as I want. Do a dollop of Daisy. I want that tattooed on my lower back, okay? I fucking love sour cream and I'm going to be honest about it. And I know I'm not alone.
I love that. Sour cream is great. The only problem I have with it is the little watery squirt that comes out in that first thing if you don't.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is a little
scary. You know what's scarier though? The ketchup water.
You know what's scarier?
What?
The sriracha water.
Yeah, well that's got a little sweetness to it. No, I really, they need to figure that out. Okay. I want you to stop all efforts in the country, the military, the government, until we figure out a way to stop the little juices coming out from condiment containers. Okay, I shook that ketchup. Okay, I shook that sour cream. I don't know what's going on, but that water makes me nauseous. It turns me off.
They're like, separation is natural. It's like, well, genetically modify it. I don't want to have to shake it.
So lately, we've been getting a little lazy with our sour cream purchases, and we've been getting the Daisy squeeze pack, sour cream that comes in a squeeze container. It's a little bit more expensive. It's a lot more useful. But I also feel like, are we getting our money's worth? It just feels like there's not as much sour cream in it. I want to look at them side by side.
I think we have to get one of those, what do they do on the acrylic paints? Like a key. Like you slide on the end and then you twist it so you get every little bit of it.
Oh, yeah. I like that. But
I need that because I feel like we're wasting a lot of it. Because with toothpaste, what I'll do, I'll palm it and then I'll pull it.
Me too.
The old palm and pull.
Yeah.
And that's how you get your penny's worth.
So we need to be doing the palm and pull with the Daisy in the fridge.
I think we need to do that.
I also don't like when I squeeze it out of it though. I feel like I'm putting less on my plate because I'm insecure because it's coming out such as like a small tube that I'm like, it's been 5 seconds and I'm still squeezing. But if this was a big dollop of a tablespoon, I would have gotten more. So I think campers, I might switch back to the tub. I haven't decided, but I just bought a new squeeze container and I can't wait to figure out what I'm going to put it on this week.
Well, you know what freaks me out about the tub though?
It's the water.
It's the water, but it's also like when the stuff around the side, it gets like a little crispy.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
What are up with those dairy crisps?
Ew.
No, we're going to be honest here.
I don't like to scrape it down. I'll mix it, but I mix it in the center. I don't like to take from the sides. I'm sorry.
You know what's vile? Condiment crisps. Condiment crisps is something that they need to cancel as much as they have to cancel condiment juice, the water.
Yeah.
They need to figure this out, guys. I'm not wiping the lid. I'm not wiping the canister. The thing with the squeeze bottle is that we are almost naive to what's going on inside the bottle. Because with the tub, you open it up and it's like it's in front of you. And you got to face your fears in that moment. You got to mix up that watery juice. You got to ignore the crisps. But something about that squeeze, you avoid that uncomfortable confrontation with your best friend sour cream.
Because you don't see it.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
There you go.
Okay, I love you, sour cream, and we love Megan. Megan.
What song's been stuck in your head all week? Welcome to Camp Songs.
Song of the week. Yeah.
Wow, pop sensation Jay Carson on the track.
Thank you. This is Song of the Week, where we tell you what's been stuck on our heads all week, what we've been humming, and what we've been. Am I okay?
It's getting late in the show. We've given a lot of energy.
What we've been singing, what we've been humming. Basically, the songs that we've been listening to. And we do have a playlist. People actually asked last week where they can listen to it. And I will tag everything in the description on YouTube, as well as if you go to the show notes, if you're listening to this right now, there's links to it right there. You can listen for free. We're not pushing an agenda. But anyway, my song of the week?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. So my song of the week is Stick With You by the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh my God, so good. So good.
Nicole
Scherzinger.
Scherzinger the Zinger, not the Summer.
Scherzinger the Stinger.
Scherzinger the Singer. She carried that group. She was the doll. They were just the background dancers.
That is the doll.
Be clear on that. What a great song. Have you seen the music video?
Yes. I'm such a Pussycat Doll stan. If they were to do a reunion tour, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I love them.
So I forget who it was, but it was some like Irish writer who said that when that song came out, it was the best pop ballad in recent history. And I have to agree, because that's the music video, at least, because the song came out on the same album. But the song that had come out before that was, I think it was Beep and Don't Ya, and they're a little bit more promiscuous.
Oh, those are fun.
Again, I'm saying love that music, but they were like, let's show another side of our personality and let's come out with this like
it was giving Spice Girls.
Soft.
It was giving like, oh hey, we can compete with the Spice Girls at that point, because Spice Girls really are like the girl group, like they can do it all. But that felt like a little bit more of a ballad. I agree.
It's such a good song.
I don't want to go another day.
And I found out that the girl who co-wrote that song, I think she wrote most of it, is the one who wrote Selena's Dreaming of You.
Oh, wow. So she's just like a dynamite songwriter.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm dreaming of you tonight till tomorrow and for all of my life.
I was going to say something wrong, so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I will say Stick With You. I think Stick With You is probably like the ultimate wedding song. I think it's just, I always have this vision of Stick With You. I think like it's hour 4 of the dancing. All the older family has gone home because they're old and they're going to die soon. And it's just your close friends and it's the ones that you love and everyone's hammered on the dance floor. And it's like, nobody gonna love me the way I must stick with you. And babe,
ain't nothing else I can do. Okay, we'll work on the lyrics before we get married. Baby, I'm with you. Baby, you're with. Baby, I'm with you. Hey, yes,
so don't go begging around. People begging around.
They ain't bringing us down.
I have a video on my phone of us singing us in the
screaming.
car. It's such a fun video from a couple months ago. That's a really fun song. I love Pussycat Dolls. It wouldn't be my number one because I had to have like really like deep connections like growing up with other ones. But like
what, like Buttons?
Yeah, literally Buttons. Okay, Buttons means the world to me. It was like my gay awakening, not because I like the girls, because I was like I feel sensual and I watched this and I'm like 11. Buttons for that. Okay, when I grow up is my manifestation song. I like sing that when I feel like I'm insecure about my career and it just pushes me to be like, no, you are a star. Okay, that's my manifestation song. But Stick With You, melodically, vocally, the strongest song.
When I grow up. I want to have boobies.
Now I got a confession. Ha 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 ha. Wait, great song this week, babe. Great song.
Thank you. What's your song of the week?
My song is in the same category of pop and elegance. It is "Lose Yourself" by Eminem.
I'll be the judge of that. No.
I just really love "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. I just feel like it's so aggressive. It's so masculine. It's so inspiring. It's a great workout song. Also, to our camper that wrote in for Dear Counselors, listen to "Lose Yourself." Okay, that is a song that when I'm feeling down in the dumps, I feel like, oh my God, no, I'm a bad bitch, okay? I only have one shot. Do not miss my chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, okay? That song on the Peloton, okay? I could go at 100 max, okay? And I would be like having a heart attack and I would keep going. It is just such like the beat, like he's just like angry and it gets me like fucking there. And like, okay, my favorite part is, I cannot grow old in Salem's Lot, so here I go, it's my shot. Feet fail me not. It's like, oh my God, I'm in Salem's Lot. Never been, but I'm in Detroit in Salem's Lot.
I just picture the camper that we gave advice to going out on this date and like shoulder checking security at
Bitch,
the door.
she should. She should. She walks in, she's like MMA fighting style. She got like a tooth guard in. She's ready to fight a bitch.
Covered in mom's spaghetti.
No, it's a really, actually 8 Mile is such a good movie. I haven't seen it since I was like 13 and I was so gay then. I'm still so gay, but something about that movie, it really is such a powerful storytelling. And Eminem, like I really like, I will never ride out for Eminem. Like I feel like he's very talented, but like
Marshall.
Like, yeah, like I'm not against him, okay? So, but I'm not vibing with him like I vibe with the Pussycat Dolls, but I am vibing with the song "Lose Yourself." It's just a classic.
I love that. It was unexpected from you.
Yeah, well, sometimes I have to throw a curveball.
I like that. It was good. Good songs. And you can listen to them on Spotify or YouTube.
Scary stories around the campfire.
This bomb will self. That's I don't know. Sorry,
We'll self-defecate.
I don't know. I was gonna say that. I'm sorry. What's the word I'm looking for?
Self-destruct?
Okay. This bomb will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
Boom!
Welcome to Scary Stories Around the Campfire. That was my scary story, but there's a better one coming up.
So this is the part where you guys talk about embarrassing moments you've had or scary moments. Most of them have been embarrassing. And apparently we thought we're not writing these. You guys are. A lot of poop content. I say it every week, but a lot more has been coming. Are we? Yes. Question.
I was really against it for a minute. I was like, I don't want to talk about poop on the podcast. Okay. I feel like it was a little like whatever, but I'm having fun with them. And I just feel like everyone's having really embarrassing poop stories. And I think they're funny. And clearly you guys do, because you don't stop sending them in.
That's what I was going to say is, hey, if you don't love a little poop joke that might make you feel better about your own embarrassing poop story, we all have them.
Retweet. Love that. We all have them.
But if you don't love them, then
sorry.
Yeah, take a hike. But anyway, I'm going to get into this email that was sent to us. Ready? Hi, camp counselors. Near the end of high school, I had a long distance boyfriend. We met and we both lived in Canada, but then he moved to the US with his family. A few times a year when it was my turn to visit him, I would fly over school break or a holiday and stay for a few days with him and his family. Naturally, his mom was pretty strict about sleeping arrangements when I visited and wouldn't let us sleep in the same room, even though we're both 18 plus, but her house, her rules. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
His mom kept an incredibly clean and extravagant decorated house and with very expensive taste in furniture. The room I stayed in had an absurdly beautiful bedroom set with gigantic king-size bed, antique-looking dresser, and an accent chair upholstered with silk-like fabric. Almost like staying at the Ritz.
Love that.
Love that hotel. Love that cracker even more. One of the nights I stayed there, his parents went out for dinner. Of course, being young, in love, and in not seeing each other for months, we were particularly frisky. We decided to take advantage of the alone time and get busy in the guest room, as you should.
As you should.
My boyfriend wanted to switch things up and thought it would be fun to do the deed on the silk upholstered chair, which seemed like a great idea at the time.
Spicy.
I enjoyed the rest of my visit there, then headed home the next day. The night after I got home, I was on the phone with my boyfriend and told him to pass my thanks on to his mom again for a wonderful stay. He got really awkward and quiet, so I asked him what was wrong. He said, I know this is kind of awkward, but is there any way that you could have somehow, possibly, gotten poop on the accent chair in the guest room.
Not the silk accent chair. No.
I was shocked and I said, what? No, what the hell? Why? He mentioned that when his mom went to clean the guest room, she noticed a little brown stain on the chair that definitely smelled like poop.
You smelled the stain?
When you smell the stain, there's no questioning it.
What color is the chair, you think?
In my head, I'm picturing like a pink similar to this chair I'm on, but a little bit lighter.
I was thinking like gold.
Yeah, or a gold.
Either way, it's light and that brown is showing up.
Yeah, that brown is showing up. I was absolutely stunned because no, I definitely did not somehow possibly get poop on his mom's fancy chair. But then I remembered when we did the deed on the chair, it was my boyfriend sitting on the chair, not me. So not only was I completely disgusted at my boyfriend's lack of personal hygiene, but also insanely embarrassed that his mom somehow thought I was going around smearing shit on the furniture. When I suggested to my boyfriend that it must have been him, he got super defensive and shrugged it off as impossible. In parentheticals, it says. Yet his bare booty was the only one that touched the chair, just saying.
It was his butt!
So naturally, I'm assuming that he never owned up to it to his mom, seeing as the next time I saw her, wait, this is the best part. The next time I saw her, she looked at me like I was a filthy excuse for a human being and she had taken the chair out of the guest room.
Oh, she's like, you're never sitting in that chair ever again, baby.
Lost your sitting privileges. Still so embarrassing even over a decade later. So remember, campers, never do the deed on your boyfriend's mother's silk chair. Lots of love. Signed, the camper with a clean boom boom in cabin 22.
Oh, we love you, camper. That would keep me awake at night. That really would.
It's also like, what is he? The mom's not, like in her head, there was no reason that her son would be in the guest room naked on the chair, you know? So she, in her head, if he didn't defend you, which he probably didn't, it's like, that girl is disgusting.
Yeah.
Let's talk to the boyfriend for a second. How many wipes are we doing? We a one wipe wonder? We think we're better than that? Get a little wet wipe.
Yeah.
Get a little flushable baby wipe.
It's not embarrassing to check to make sure, am I done? Am I clean? Let me just take a little peek at my own self and see, oh, this is wiping dry. This is wiping clean. Also, that makes sense. Not to be graphic, but I'm going to be. So if he's sitting on the chair and she's on top of her, that's a lot of force and momentum, which could
open the cheeks.
And there's a lot of pressure with the up and down, which would then cause the skid. I'm surprised they didn't notice it before she left. I think like in a panic of not trying to get caught up in that, I would make sure that the room was like spotless before I left the house. But a little brown goo.
That little dollop of daisy.
That was a dollop of daisy. So as Jonathan would promote, fiber could stop all of this from happening.
Yeah, you guys, Metamucil does wonders. Don't get the name brand, get the off brand. But you know, it's the corn silk. It keeps everything together. I'm telling you.
Oh, and she'll never have a defense. Wait, are they still together?
I don't know. She didn't say that part.
We're gonna go to
No, I don't think so because she didn't say. She said I had a boyfriend.
Oh, I was like, because we would have went to the wedding and made sure that we made a speech about that and defended your rights. Oh my God, well, that was really funny though, and that was a poop story, and I was into it. Sorry.
Yeah, that was something. That sure was something. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you. We would greatly appreciate it if you gave it 5 stars. If you're enjoying it and you feel like it, give us a good review. If not, go fuck yourself.
Stop it. No, really, in all honesty, we're like literally loving this. It was such a fun episode. And to get your emails and your DMs and all of your stories and your shares, and when people tag it, it's such a dream come true. And I'm just so appreciative that you guys love this and we love doing it for you. So thank you for supporting it and listening to it. And yeah, we will continue on, and we can't wait to bring Camp Shady Birch to full term with all of you.
We're halfway there.
We're almost halfway there.
Yeah, we're almost halfway.
Yeah, so send in your emails and your stories to us at campcounselorpod@gmail.com. I think that's all we have for today's episode, right, Counselor John?
I think so.
With that being said,
lights out, campers.